Taylor Colbert, former student of mine. Okay, it just came on my phone. Okay, all right. These are the angle measures, and these are the, well, cosine of the angle. So let's transfer this data, these points, onto this graph. So when theta is 0, the y value is 1. So here's 1. And I know when theta is pi over 2, I don't know where exactly that is. Let's call it right here. When theta is pi over 2, the cosine value is 0. Or the y coordinate, if you want, is 0. There we go. Put a little curve in there because the slopes aren't constant. And there you go. So.
Would you say, like, for this one, like, you won't need to calculate this, like, whatsoever? Like, you don't need...
No, you don't. Yep. You won't need a calculator at all this until next Friday. Question. So here we go. That is, so what did we do? We took quadrant 1 of the unit circle, which are angles 0, 30, 45, 60, 90. We took those quadrant 1 angles and plotted them here. You can just leave your eyes on it. Now, let's pick up and let's plot what happens to these quadrant 2 angles. That's where I'm going next. So what's the next angle? Well, 2 pi over 3. So now I want to say cosine of 2 pi over 3. Cosine of, call it 120, if you want, degrees, is going to be negative 1/2. Negative 1/2. Some of you are already seeing the pattern. You can keep building. So next angle will be 3 pi over 4. And I want to find cosine of this. Cosine of 135. Come over here. Boom. Negative root 2 over 2. And there are 2 more in quadrant 2, 2 more angle measures in quadrant 2. 2 more angle measures in quadrant 2. So I need to find the cosine of this angle, and here's what I've gotten. Verify you're getting this. And then I want to find the cosine of pi, cosine of 180. Verify you're getting this. Let's stop and see if any of these 4 points written in black marker are causing confusion. Alright, so now we want to take these and plot them on the graph. Well, I really don't know too much. What I do know with certainty is that when the angle is pi, the y value is negative 1. So let's just say pi is somewhere here. The angle is, the y value is negative 1. So let's just kind of draw this down. Questions so far? Alright, let's push forward to quadrant 3. I'll make a new table. Some of you may be able to use the old table. You may have enough space. I don't. So let's now, you guys can probably do this on your own. Let's build out these 2 quadrants. Quadrants 3 and 4 of the unit circle. Let's get those angles up here and build that out. So go ahead and get started on that. You don't need me. Again, if you have questions, please ask. Tomorrow we're going to build out sine, but not today. So here are the angles, if you're confused where we are, here are the angles you want to solve for now. These are the angles, and now you want to plug these in for theta. You want to plug these in for theta to get the cosine of each of these angles. And I'm writing it up here. I don't want to speak it because I do want to give others who are working on it a chance to do it on their own. But if you are stuck, now is a good time to raise hand and we can get some questions. In fact, I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to change colors for these ones down here. Just so we can... All right, and here we have it. There we go. So any question on what is in this data table here? Please stop me if it's not clear. Please stop me. Now I'm going to take this data, these data points, and I'm going to plot them here. I'm going to take the data points and plot them. And I'm going to try to do it in the corresponding colors so that it's easier to see kind of what's going on. So I'm going to do the pink ones now, and again, if you're not there, that's totally fine. And then one last part. So I plotted the pink part. Now I'm going to plot the light blue part. So I want to stop here for 30 seconds or a minute to let people make sure they can catch up and get what I have. And then we'll ask some new questions about this graph. But I want to stop here for 30 seconds to see where we are. So now is a good time to ask questions if there are any. Make sure you have this. Make sure you know where it comes from. 3 weeks from now, you'll be able to draw this graph in a second. 10 seconds. Right now will take time. We're building up now when it's a little bit low stakes. You're not going to get counted off if you miss it right now. In 3 weeks, it's going to matter. We want to build it early. Remember, this is the Mr. Kurt strategy. Proven to work. All right. Are there any questions on how we get this? Shunli.
Does it have to be curved?
It does always need to be curved, yes. Because the slope, if you were to actually calculate the slope between any 2 points, is not constant. In fact, that's a question that in a couple weeks will come up. We'll ask you to calculate the average rate of change between 2 points. This was on last year's common assessment. Some of us missed it. We'll have that question this year so we can practice. So, let's do some analysis of this graph. So, let's see what I've got. Well, in blue right here, this dark blue represents quadrant 1 of the unit circle. Only focusing on the cosine values. No sine values here. No SIN sign. No sine values here. That'll come tomorrow. This in blue, quadrant 1 of the unit circle. Think back to your notes from yesterday. If you look at your notes from yesterday, you will see we said yesterday that in quadrant 1, cosine values are positive or negative? Positive. Notice how the cosine values are positive. We said yesterday in our notes, in quadrant 1, cosine increases or decreases? You can look at the notes, and let's have some consensus. Cosine decreases, the graph decreases. Note these things down, folks. Note these things down. We might ask you in a couple weeks, where is the graph positive? We'll need you to tell us. from 0 to pi over 2. Quadrant 1. Where else is the graph positive? Well, if you think back to yesterday, we said cosine is positive also in quadrant 4. Cosine is positive also in quadrant 4. Where's quadrant 4? That's light blue, right here. This is quadrant 4 of the unit circle. So look at the light blue. Cosine is positive. What did we say yesterday? We said cosine was increasing or decreasing in quadrant 4? Increasing. Notice the graph. Okay, then we said in quadrant 2, that's here in black. Quadrant 2 of the unit circle. We said cosine was positive or negative? Negative. Very good. Let's look. Negative. And we said cosine is decreasing in quadrant 2. Notice the decreasing in quadrant 2. It all fits together. And finally, in pink, quadrant 3 of the unit circle. Circle.
You spoke it out 3 times, Mr. S, and you still can't get it.
Caught it on camera.
Come on, shoot. Quadrant 3 of the unit circle, right here. What's going on? We're seeing negative cosine, negative, and increasing, increasing. It all starts from the special right triangles. Think about it. Special right triangles. We built this, then we built this. This is the beauty of math. I'm sorry we haven't seen that for the past 12 weeks of this class. Now, the time is 12:09. Tomorrow, we will come in and have the quiz, build out the sine graph, and then do one new thing. I'll talk all of tomorrow except for the quiz. Today, I want to stop. Okay, so at 12:40, I will present the formula for how to calculate your semester grade. Some people want to know how to do that. So you have the option of being with me to do that part. We'll not do that until 12:40. Until then, you have 30 minutes with the headphones, if you have them. Keep one earbud out so we can speak to you if we need to. Right? I have answer key available if you need to check. I'm here to answer questions.